Chosen one, what I am going to share with you today will completely change your life. You did not click on today's video by chance, but you were brought here by a divine plan. And that is because something incredible is about to happen in your life. Get ready, chosen one. A life-changing meeting is near. God decided. Yes, you heard that right. God is saying, it's time. That divine connection you've been hoping for, it's almost here. Not everyone is blessed with a life-changing meeting with God, but you are lucky. All you have been through, the struggles, the waiting, and even the moments of doubt, were all preparing you for this exact moment. God has decided that now is the time for your life-changing meeting. You are about to step into your purpose. It's not random, it's destiny. This isn't just about praying or wishing. It's about a real transformation, a moment where everything is in the right direction and you step into the purpose God has for you. As a person chosen by God, you are being prepared for this sacred union. Big changes are coming your way, changes that will surprise you. But to fully step into this amazing moment, you must be in tune with the powerful energy flowing into your life. Before we dive deeper into this transformational message, pause for a moment and do 3 things. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 77. By doing so, you are sharing your energy with God. You might find yourself asking, why is this happening now? Why didn't it happen earlier when I was praying so hard? Why didn't God intervene during my darkest moments? These are valid questions, and trust me, you're not alone in wondering. But here's the thing. God's timing is never early, and it's never late. It's always perfect. This is one of the biggest lessons you'll learn in life. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the right time. Think about the journey you've been on. All the struggles, the heartbreak, the unanswered prayers. They weren't for nothing. They were part of a bigger plan that you couldn't see at the time. Every tough situation, every moment of waiting was shaping you, preparing you for something much greater than you could have ever imagined. It's like planting a seed. You don't see it grow overnight, but beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. Roots are forming, and it's getting ready to break through the soil and blossom. That's what's been happening in your life. You've been growing in ways you didn't even realize. Now, God has decided that this is your moment. The moment you've been waiting for, whether you knew it or not, is finally here. You're about to step into your purpose, into the reason you were put on this earth. It might not look exactly how you imagined it, and that's okay. God's plans are always better than anything we can dream up ourselves. He sees the bigger picture, and He knows exactly what you need and when you need it. You've been prepared, even during those times when you felt lost or unsure. Every step of your journey has been leading to this point. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen on our timeline. We live in a world where we want everything right now, instant answers, instant results. But God doesn't work like that. He's more concerned with your growth and preparation than giving you quick fixes. He knows when you're truly ready. He knows when your heart is aligned, when your spirit is strong enough, and when your mind is open enough to receive what He has in store for you. That's why this life-changing moment is happening now. You weren't ready before, but you are now. God has been molding you, building you up for this exact moment. This isn't a random coincidence or a stroke of luck. This is destiny. You were always meant to reach this point, and now that you're here, it's time to embrace it fully. The divine meeting you're about to have will be unlike anything you've experienced. It's the kind of encounter that will change you from the inside out, and you'll walk away from it with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. But why now? Why didn't this happen during one of your earlier struggles? Because God was working behind the scenes, orchestrating things you couldn't even see. Maybe there were lessons you still needed to learn, or maybe there were obstacles in the way that had to be cleared first. Whatever the case, it's all led to this moment, right here, right now. If you're feeling a little nervous or unsure about what's next, know this: you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You've been chosen for this. You're ready. And God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't make sense to us. Trust that this moment is part of a bigger plan that's unfolding in your life, and get ready, because everything is about to change. Understanding the power of being a chosen one. Have you ever felt different from everyone around you? Maybe you've always sensed things more deeply, or had a feeling in your heart that you're meant for something bigger. You may have noticed that while others seem to fit right into the world, you often stand a bit apart. This isn't a coincidence. It's because you are a chosen one, hand-picked by God for a special purpose, and that's no small thing. Being chosen by God means that there's a divine plan for your life, one that sets you apart from the crowd. It's not about being better than others, but about having a unique role to play in God's grand design. You may not have realized it yet, but God has been guiding you all along, placing certain dreams, desires, and even struggles in your life to shape you for this very purpose. This isn't something to take lightly. You were chosen for a reason, and that's why your life has always felt a bit different. People who are chosen often experience a heightened sense of awareness. You might have noticed that you can sense things others can't. You pick up on spiritual energy, subtle shifts in your environment, or a deep intuition that tells you when something isn't right. This sensitivity is one of the signs that God has set you apart. It's like you've been given special tools to navigate the world because your mission requires a deeper level of understanding and connection. But with this calling comes responsibility. Being chosen doesn't mean life will be easy, or that everything will fall into place without effort. In fact, it often means the opposite. Chosen ones tend to face more challenges, more tests, and more moments of doubt, because the journey you're on requires you to be strong, resilient, and faithful. These challenges are not meant to break you, but to build you up. They are part of your training, preparing you for the great work God has in store for you. Your calling also means that you have a responsibility to prepare your heart and mind for what's coming. It's like being called for a job, but before you can start, you need to get the right training and mindset. God is about to reveal powerful truths and opportunities to you, but you need to be ready to receive them. This preparation involves clearing out anything that might block your connection with God: fear, doubt, negativity, or distractions. It's time to let go of what no longer serves you and make space for the divine message that's coming your way. This is also a time to strengthen your faith. As a chosen one, you are called to trust in God's plan, even when things don't make sense. There will be moments when you'll be tested, when the path ahead seems unclear or difficult. But know that God wouldn't have chosen you if you weren't capable of fulfilling this mission. The very fact that you've been called means you have everything you need within you to succeed, even if you don't feel ready just yet. So, what should you do now? First, acknowledge your chosen status. Embrace it. Understand that you are not here by accident and that you were chosen for a divine reason. Then, take the time to prepare yourself. Spend more time in prayer, in reflection, and in aligning your life with God's purpose. Seek out spiritual guidance if you need it, and trust that every step you take is bringing you closer to your destiny. Being a chosen one doesn't mean you'll always have the answers or that everything will be easy, but it does mean that God is with you every step of the way, guiding and strengthening you for the incredible journey ahead. You are part of something much bigger than yourself, and that's an amazing thing. Get ready because the path of a chosen one is about to lead you to something extraordinary. Recognizing the signs of divine alignment. Have you ever felt like certain things in your life keep repeating? Maybe you keep seeing the same number, like 77, popping up everywhere, on clocks, license plates, receipts, or you keep having the same type of dream over and over. Perhaps there's a feeling deep in your soul that something important is about to happen, or you're suddenly noticing patterns that seem too specific to be random. If this sounds familiar, you're not imagining things. These are signs from God, and they are not coincidences. They are clues that your life is aligning with God's plan for you, and that a sacred encounter is drawing near. God often communicates with us in ways that aren't always obvious at first. Instead of a booming voice or a direct message, he may use more subtle signs to get your attention. One of the most common signs is the appearance of certain numbers. You might keep seeing the number 77, for example. In the Bible and spiritual teachings, numbers hold deep meanings. The number 77 is often associated with spiritual awakening, divine intervention, and alignment with God's purpose. So if you keep seeing it, consider it a divine nudge, a reminder that you're on the right path. But numbers aren't the only way God communicates. Sometimes the signs are internal, a feeling that you can't quite explain, but you know it's there. It's that gut feeling, a sense of anticipation, or even a peaceful certainty that something big is about to happen. That feeling is God's way of preparing you. When your spirit feels a shift, it's often because you're aligning with His plan, even if you don't know the details yet. Dreams are another powerful way God sends messages. If you've been having recurring dreams or dreams that feel deeply significant, pay attention to them. These dreams might carry important messages about your future, your purpose, or even warnings that can guide you in the right direction. Sometimes they're not obvious right away, but over time, their meaning becomes clearer. When you have these dreams, don't dismiss them. Reflect on them, pray about them, and ask God for clarity. Dreams can be like pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, show you where you're meant to go. The world around you can also reflect signs of divine alignment. Maybe a certain message or word keeps showing up on social media, in a book you're reading, or in conversations with people. When you hear the same message repeatedly from different sources, it's often God's way of making sure you don't miss it. He knows how busy and distracted we can be, so sometimes He sends the same message multiple times in different ways until we finally notice. Recognizing these signs requires paying close attention. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook them, but once you start noticing them, you'll realize they've been there all along. It's like God is leaving you breadcrumbs, small but significant clues that lead you to your next step. When you start paying attention, you'll see that these signs form a roadmap, guiding you toward a sacred encounter with Him. What's most important is to trust that these signs are real. It's easy to brush them off as random or coincidences, but when you look closer, you'll see the pattern. God doesn't work in randomness. He is intentional, and every sign, every message is part of a bigger picture. So if you've been feeling unsure or confused about what's next, take comfort in the fact that God is already showing you the way. You just need to stay open, keep your heart and mind clear, and follow where these signs lead you. Recognizing the signs of divine alignment isn't about having all the answers right away. It's about trusting the process, believing that God is with you and knowing that He's guiding you towards something greater. The signs are there to reassure you, to let you know that you're not alone on this journey, and to give you the confidence to move forward in faith. So keep your eyes, ears, and heart open, because your sacred encounter with God is closer than you think. How to prepare for this life-changing meeting. When you're about to meet God in a profound way, it's essential to be prepared both spiritually and mentally. This isn't just another prayer or meditation session. This is a divine encounter that has the potential to completely transform your life. But for you to fully receive what God wants to give you, there are a few steps you need to take to prepare your heart, mind, and spirit. Just as you would prepare for an important meeting or event in your life, the same applies here. Only this meeting is far more significant because it's a meeting with God. First, take time to reflect on your life. Are there areas where you are holding on to things that no longer serve you? Maybe it's fear, doubt, anger, or unforgiveness. These emotions can act like barriers, blocking the flow of divine energy into your life. Imagine trying to pour clean water into a cup that's filled with dirt. If you don't clean out the cup first, the water becomes tainted. The same goes for your heart and spirit. You need to make space for God's message by letting go of the emotional and spiritual clutter. Start by acknowledging any fears or doubts you've been holding on to. It's normal to feel uncertain, especially when you're about to step into the unknown. But remember, fear can keep you stuck and prevent you from fully embracing God's plan for you. God is calling you into something bigger, something beyond what you can currently see. Trust that His plans are far greater than your fears. Let go of the what-ifs and place your faith in the certainty of God's love and guidance. Next, examine your relationships. Is there anyone in your life that you need to forgive? Holding on to unforgiveness can weigh heavily on your spirit. It can create a block between you and God because unforgiveness keeps you tied to past hurts and negative emotions. Forgiving someone isn't about excusing what they did or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about freeing yourself from the pain and allowing God's healing to take its place. If there's someone you need to forgive, take that step, even if it's difficult. This act of forgiveness will open your heart to receive more of God's love and peace. Another key step is to make room for silence and stillness in your life. We live in a world that's constantly busy and noisy, with distractions at every turn. But to hear God's voice, you need to quiet the noise around you and within you. Make time each day to sit in silence, even if it's just for a few minutes. In those moments, let go of any worries or thoughts that may be swirling in your mind. Focus on your breath and simply be present. This stillness creates a sacred space where you can hear God's whispers and feel His presence. Often God speaks to us in the quiet, not through loud proclamations, but through a gentle nudge or a soft voice within. Prayer is also a crucial part of preparing for this meeting. But this isn't about praying for what you want or need. It's about connecting with God on a deeper level. When you pray, ask God to prepare your heart and open your spirit to fully receive His message. Ask Him to guide you and give you the wisdom and strength to embrace what's coming. Prayer is your direct line to God, and it's through prayer that you can invite His presence into your life in a more profound way. It's a time to be vulnerable, to share your hopes, fears, and desires with God, and to listen for His response. In addition to prayer, consider incorporating meditation into your daily routine. Meditation allows you to go inward, to quiet your mind, and to connect with God on a deeper level. It's a practice that helps you become more present and aware of the divine energy that surrounds you. When you meditate, you create a space for God to speak to you, not through words, but through feelings, sensations, and inner knowing. It's in these moments of stillness that you can receive insights, guidance, and clarity about your life and your purpose. As you prepare for this meeting, approach it with an open and willing heart. Be ready to receive whatever God has for you, even if it's not what you expected. Sometimes we have our own ideas about what we want or how things should unfold, but God's plan is always greater. Surrender your expectations and trust that God knows exactly what you need. This divine meeting is an opportunity for growth, transformation, and alignment with your true purpose. Be open to the possibilities and allow God's love and guidance to lead you where you're meant to go. Preparing for this life-changing meeting with God requires reflection, letting go of what no longer serves you, embracing forgiveness, cultivating stillness, and deepening your connection through prayer and meditation. By doing these things, you'll clear the path for God's presence to enter your life in a powerful and transformative way. Trust that this sacred encounter is meant for you, and that by preparing yourself, you'll be ready to fully receive the divine message that awaits. What happens during this divine encounter? When you have this divine encounter with God, it will be unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It's not just a moment where you feel a sense of peace or clarity. It's far more profound. This meeting with God will leave a permanent mark on your soul, creating a shift that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. There are no words that can fully describe the magnitude of what you're about to experience. But one thing is certain: you will never be the same again. First and foremost, during this encounter, you'll experience an overwhelming sense of knowing. This isn't the kind of knowing that comes from reading a book or hearing someone speak. It's a deep, soul-level understanding. It's like everything you've been wondering about your life and your purpose will suddenly make sense. Things that once felt confusing or unclear will become crystal clear. You'll no longer have to second-guess or doubt yourself, because the truth will be revealed directly to you by God Himself. As God reveals these truths to you, you'll gain an understanding of your life's purpose in a way you've never known before. You've probably always had a feeling deep down that you were meant for something bigger, that you were put on this earth for a specific reason. This encounter will confirm that feeling and take it even further. God will show you the unique mission He has for you. Whether it's in your relationships, your career, or your personal growth, you'll leave this meeting with a renewed sense of direction, knowing exactly what steps to take next in your life. Another aspect of this divine meeting is the feeling of God's presence. It's not just an emotional experience. It's something that will be so real and tangible, it will take your breath away. You will feel His love, power, and grace surrounding you like a warm embrace. It's a presence that will make you feel completely safe, loved, and accepted. Imagine the most comforting, peaceful moment you've ever experienced, and then multiply that by 1,000. That's what it will feel like. You'll know, without a doubt, that God is with you, guiding and protecting you. During this encounter, God may also reveal things about the world around you. You'll begin to see the bigger picture and how everything is interconnected. You'll gain insights into the challenges you've faced, understanding why certain things had to happen in your life. Even the painful or difficult moments will start to make sense as God shows you how they were all part of His plan to prepare you for this very moment. It's as if a veil will be lifted, allowing you to see things from a higher perspective. At the same time, this meeting will also confirm everything you've always felt deep inside but couldn't put into words. Maybe you've had moments of intuition or a gut feeling that there's something greater guiding your life. This encounter will validate those feelings. You'll realize that those little nudges, those moments when you felt something greater was at work, were all leading you to this divine encounter. It will be like finding the missing puzzle piece that completes the picture. One of the most transformative parts of this experience is the shift that will happen within your soul. It's not just a temporary high or a fleeting moment of inspiration. This is a deep, lasting change that will affect every part of your life moving forward. You'll feel different, lighter, more empowered, and more aligned with who you truly are. It's as though you'll be stepping into the most authentic version of yourself, the version that God always intended you to be. Additionally, this encounter will leave you speechless. It's not something you can fully explain to others because it's so personal and sacred. Words will seem inadequate to capture the depth of what you've experienced. You might try to share it with others, but only you will truly understand the significance of what happened during this meeting. That's because this encounter is a direct communication between you and God, a moment designed just for you. After this divine meeting, you'll feel a sense of peace and clarity that surpasses anything you've known before. The worries and doubts that once weighed you down will seem small in comparison to the vastness of God's plan for you. You'll feel more confident in your path, knowing that God is walking with you every step of the way. This peace will be your new foundation, allowing you to move forward in life with unwavering faith and trust in God's plan. This divine encounter is a life-altering experience. It will fill you with a sense of knowing, reveal your purpose, and bring you into a direct relationship with God's presence. You'll leave this meeting with clarity, peace, and a renewed understanding of who you are and why you're here. The shift in your soul will be undeniable, and from this moment on, your life will be forever changed. The transformative power of faith. Faith has always been a powerful force in your life, even when you may not have realized it. It's the driving energy that has carried you through the tough times, the uncertainty, and the moments of doubt. But now, as you prepare for this life-changing meeting with God, faith is about to take on a whole new level of significance. This encounter will not only be an affirmation of your faith, but a deep transformation that elevates you to new heights. The blessings and revelations that will come your way are all unlocked by one thing: your faith. At its core, faith is trusting in something greater than yourself. It's believing in God's plan for your life, even when you can't see the full picture. You've already demonstrated this trust by following the signs, the inner nudges, and the quiet voice in your heart that has led you here. And now this divine meeting is proof that God has been guiding you all along. You were never walking this path alone. God has been orchestrating everything for this precise moment. Your faith has brought you this far, and it's about to take you even further. One of the most important things to understand is that faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that God's plan is perfect, even when life seems confusing or chaotic. There will be times when things don't make sense, when the road ahead feels uncertain, or when you're faced with challenges that seem overwhelming. But in those moments, faith is what anchors you. It reminds you that God is in control and that He is working everything together for your good. The meeting with God will serve as a powerful reminder of this truth. During this encounter, your faith will be the key that activates the transformation that's about to take place in your life. God is ready to pour out blessings, revelations, and purpose, but it's your faith that opens the door to receive them. Think of it like a seed. Faith is the seed that you've been planting and watering throughout your life. Now, that seed is about to bloom into something beautiful and life-changing, but it's your continued trust in God that will allow it to flourish. This is why it's so important to hold on tightly to your faith, especially in the days leading up to and following this divine meeting. You may not have all the details, and you might not know exactly how everything will unfold, but that's okay. Faith isn't about knowing every step of the way. It's about trusting that God knows the way. And because He knows, you can rest in the certainty that everything is happening as it should. As you prepare for this sacred encounter, reflect on the role faith has already played in your journey. Think back to the moments when you felt lost or unsure, and how faith carried you through. Remember how, even in your weakest moments, God showed up in unexpected ways, proving that He was always there. Now, as you stand on the brink of this transformation, your faith will once again be the force that moves mountains. This meeting with God will not just be a confirmation of your faith, but a catalyst for even greater faith. It's one thing to believe in God when things are going well, but it's another to trust Him when the path ahead is unclear. This encounter will deepen your faith in ways you never thought possible. You'll leave this meeting not only with a renewed sense of purpose, but also with a faith that is unshakable. In the days following this meeting, you'll notice how your faith begins to transform your life in tangible ways. You'll see doors opening that you never expected, relationships being restored, and opportunities aligning in ways that seem almost miraculous. This is the power of faith. It attracts blessings, opens new paths, and aligns you with God's plan. And the more you lean into it, the more you'll see these changes take shape. But remember, faith is also something you must nurture. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. After this meeting, make it a point to continue nurturing your faith through prayer, reflection, and spending time in God's presence. When doubts or fears arise, remind yourself of this sacred encounter and the promises God revealed to you. Let those memories be the fuel that keeps your faith burning bright. The transformative power of faith is limitless. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Your journey has been one of faith from the very beginning, and this meeting with God is the next chapter in that journey. The blessings, wisdom, and purpose that are about to be revealed are all a testament to the strength of your faith. Faith is the key to unlocking everything that's coming your way. Trust that this divine meeting is part of God's perfect plan for your life. Embrace it with open arms, knowing that your faith has led you to this moment, and it will continue to guide you in the days to come. Hold on tight to your faith. It's about to take you further than you've ever imagined. Living in alignment. After the encounter. Once you've had a life-changing meeting with God, everything about your life will begin to shift in ways you couldn't have imagined. This isn't just an ordinary encounter. It's a divine moment that transforms your heart, your mind, and your entire perspective. After such a profound experience, living in alignment with your true self becomes your new normal. It's like seeing the world through a completely different lens, one that reveals the deeper meaning and purpose behind everything. One of the first things you'll notice is a new sense of confidence. This isn't an overconfidence or arrogance, but a quiet assurance that you are walking in the path God has set for you. You will no longer be weighed down by constant self-doubt or second-guessing your choices. Instead, you'll feel a deep trust in your decisions because you know they are aligned with God's will for your life. This newfound confidence doesn't just affect your spiritual life, it seeps into every part of your daily routine, from your relationships to your work and even your personal goals. You'll feel empowered to move forward with a clear sense of purpose. Along with this confidence comes a sense of clarity. After your divine meeting, you'll begin to see life's events and challenges through a different lens. Where there was once confusion, there will now be understanding. Situations that used to stress or overwhelm you will no longer hold the same power. Instead, you'll recognize them as part of a bigger picture, part of God's plan. This doesn't mean life will suddenly become easy or free of challenges. The difficulties will still be there, but your response to them will be different. You'll handle them with grace because you now understand that every challenge is a stepping stone on your spiritual path. One of the most profound shifts you'll experience is a deeper connection to your true self. Before this divine encounter, you may have felt like you were searching for your purpose or unsure about your place in the world. But after meeting God in such a powerful way, you'll feel more aligned with who you are meant to be. You'll begin to operate from a place of authenticity, no longer trying to fit into molds or meet the expectations of others. Instead, you'll follow the path God has revealed to you, and this alignment will bring a sense of peace and fulfillment that you've never known before. Another important change is that you'll be more aware of the divine energy flowing in and around you. You'll start to recognize signs, synchronicities, and even opportunities that you might have missed before. This heightened awareness is part of living in alignment. When you're in tune with God's plan for your life, the world around you starts to shift in your favor. You'll find that doors open more easily, connections are made more effortlessly, and things just seem to click into place. It's not magic, but rather the natural result of living in harmony with God's purpose. Living in alignment after this encounter also means that your spiritual practices will deepen. Prayer, meditation, and time spent in silence will take on new meaning. These moments will no longer feel like obligations or routines, but will become the sacred time you spend in communication with God. As you continue to nurture this connection, you'll find that your relationship with the divine grows stronger, and you'll receive even more guidance, wisdom, and insight. This ongoing communication with God will help you stay aligned with your purpose, even as life continues to evolve. Your relationships will also be impacted in positive ways. After this encounter, you'll approach your interactions with others differently. You'll have more compassion, more patience, and a greater understanding of the people around you. You'll start to see others as God sees them, and this will deepen your connections and improve your ability to love unconditionally. Living in alignment with your true self will naturally attract people who are on similar spiritual paths, and you'll find yourself surrounded by a community of like-minded souls who uplift and support you. One of the most important lessons you'll carry with you is the understanding that being a chosen one comes with responsibility. You've been given a special calling, and it's your duty to honor it. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or live without making mistakes. It simply means that you are now aware of your purpose, and it's up to you to live in alignment with that purpose. Whether it's sharing your testimony, helping others, or using your unique gifts to make a difference, you'll feel a strong urge to fulfill the mission that God has given you. Living in alignment after your divine encounter is a beautiful and transformative experience. While challenges will still arise, you'll now have the confidence, clarity, and spiritual tools to face them head-on. You'll feel more connected to your true self, more in tune with God's plan, and more empowered to live a life that reflects your highest purpose. This is the life you were always meant to live, one of alignment, purpose, and divine guidance, sharing your testimony and impacting others. After a profound divine encounter, the natural response is to share your experience. It's not just about telling your story, but using it as a tool to inspire others and guide them toward their own spiritual awakenings. Your testimony holds power to touch hearts, spark hope, and create a ripple effect of transformation. Many people are yearning for guidance, for a sign that God is real and present in their lives. By sharing your journey, you become that sign, the light that shows others what's possible when they open their hearts to God. When you share your testimony, you're not just recounting a story, you're opening a doorway for others to see that God is actively working in the world. You've been chosen to receive this life-changing encounter for a reason. It's not just for you, but for those around you who may be searching for answers, struggling with doubt, or feeling disconnected from their faith. Your story is a beacon of hope, showing them that God's presence is real and that a deeper connection with Him is possible. Each time you share your testimony, you plant seeds of faith in the hearts of others. You may not always see the immediate impact of your words, but know that your story has the power to touch lives in ways you might not even imagine. Whether you're speaking to a large group or just having a quiet conversation with a friend, your words carry the weight of your experience. They are a reminder that God is always with us, guiding us and calling us into deeper relationship with Him. One of the most important aspects of sharing your testimony is that it creates a sense of community and connection. You'll find that people resonate with different parts of your story. Maybe it's the struggles you went through before your encounter, or the way God's presence felt during your meeting. Whatever it is, your story will speak to people in different ways, and that's where the power lies. When others see themselves in your journey, they begin to realize that they, too, can have their own divine meeting. Your testimony becomes a bridge that connects their heart to God's. Another beautiful result of sharing your story is the inspiration it brings. People are often looking for examples of faith in action, real stories of how God moves in people's lives. Your testimony becomes that real-life example. It shows them that the divine isn't some far-off abstract concept, but something that can be felt, seen, and experienced in very real ways. Your encounter with God is living proof that He is working in our lives every day, in ways both big and small. By sharing your testimony, you also encourage others to reflect on their own spiritual journeys. Some may not have recognized the signs of God's presence in their lives before, but your story could be the catalyst that makes them more aware. It can spark a desire in them to seek their own connection with God, to pray more, to listen for His voice, and to open themselves up to the possibility of a deeper spiritual encounter. Your testimony isn't just about what happened to you. It's about awakening something within others too. It's important to remember that sharing your testimony isn't about perfection. You don't have to have all the answers or know exactly how to express everything you've experienced. The power of your story lies in its authenticity. People are moved by real, honest accounts of struggle, doubt, and breakthrough. When you speak from your heart and share your journey with vulnerability, it resonates on a deeper level. Others will feel the sincerity of your words, and that's what will leave a lasting impact. In addition, sharing your testimony can also help strengthen your own faith. Every time you recount your experience, you're reminded of God's presence and the transformative power of that encounter. It's a way of reaffirming the lessons you've learned and the new perspective you've gained. As you speak about how God has worked in your life, you may even discover new insights about your journey, deepening your own spiritual understanding. Lastly, your testimony is not just a personal story, it's a call to action for others. When you share your journey, you're inviting those around you to take steps toward their own spiritual growth. You're leading by example, showing them that walking with God is a path of transformation, hope, and purpose. You might be the person who sparks someone else's desire to connect with God in a more profound way. And as they begin their own journey, they'll carry that same ripple effect of faith and inspiration forward. In conclusion, sharing your testimony is one of the most impactful things you can do after your divine encounter. It's not just a story, it's a tool for transformation. Through your words, you'll inspire faith, create connections, and help others recognize the signs of God's presence in their own lives. Your testimony is a gift, and by sharing it, you're fulfilling your role as a chosen one, leading others toward their own divine meetings and sparking a ripple effect of hope and spiritual growth in the world around you.